Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. In today's video, I will be telling you the difference between a phrase and a sentence. What is a sentence and what is a phrase? Okay. Now, what is a sentence? A sentence is a group of words which makes a complete sense. Always remember, a sentence has a subject and a finite verb of its own. Let's take an example. We live in Assam. So, we in this sentence, we is the subject, live is the finite verb, and these words we live in Assam. We is the subject, live in Assam is the predicate, and they all combine together and makes a complete sense. So we can call it as a sentence. Let's take another example. The dog barks. Okay, so the dog is the subject and barks is the finite verb here. So this sentence consists of a verb as well as a subject, and it makes a complete sense. So we can call it as a sentence. Okay, let's take the last example. Rina can dance. Rina is the subject and can dance is the predicate, and it also has a verb, and these words combine together, they join together and makes a complete sense. So a group of words which makes a complete sense of its own and which has a subject and a finite verb of its own is called a sentence. Now let's learn what a phrase is. A phrase is a group of words which makes a sense, but it does not make a complete sense, as a phrase does not have a subject and a finite verb of its own. Let's look at these phrases again and again. In a corner of great strength, as soon as possible, on the road. So you must have seen that these phrases are group of words. Each of them is a group of words and each of them makes a sense, but they do not make a complete sense, as they do not have a subject and a finite verb. So such a group of words is called a phrase. Let me again explain you in detail. Again and again, the words again and again makes a sense of its own. We know again and again means repeatedly doing something again and again, but it does not make a complete sense as the subject and the finite verb is missing. So this is a phrase. Of great strength. These are also group of words and they make sense of its own. We know of great strength means somebody who has a lot of strength, possesses a lot of strength. But who possesses this strength? We don't know, because the subject and the verb, the finite verb, is missing here. So it is called a phrase. As soon as possible. These are again group of words, and they make this group of words itself makes some sense. Again, as soon as possible, that means as early as possible, but it does not make a complete sense, as the subject and the finite verb is missing in this group of words. So we cannot call it as a sentence, we will call it as a phrase. So a phrase is a group of words which makes a sense, but it does not make a complete sense, as it has no subject and no finite verb of its own. I'm sure you are clear with the difference between a phrase and a sentence. A phrase will make a complete sense. A sentence will make a complete sense. a phrase will not make a complete sense. A sentence will have a subject and a finite verb of its own. A phrase will not have a subject and finite verb of its own. Okay, so this is the difference. Now I'm going to dictate a few sentences. From these sentences, you have to point out and identify the phrases that are used. Okay, the first sentence is, a man stood on the wall. This is a complete sentence. It makes complete sense, as the sentence has a subject and a finite verb of its own. Now your task is, what you have to do is identify the phrase used in the sentence. You have to underline the phrase in this sentence. Sentence number 1. Sentence number 2, he left the village for good. He left the village for good. Point out the phrase used in this sentence. Sentence number 3. He won the prize by dint of hard labor. By dint of hard labor means he worked very hard, and that is why he could win the prize. Fine. So underline the phrase here. He won the prize by dint of hard labor. Sentence number 4 is, he shouted at the top of his voice. That means very loudly. Okay. He shouted at the top of his voice. Underline the phrase here. Remember, a phrase will not have a subject. A phrase will not have a finite verb. Okay. Keep that in mind. Sentence number 5. He stood in front of the school gate. He stood in front of the school gate. Find out the phrase used in this sentence. Sentence number 6. He went to Delhi in quest of a job. In quest means in search of. Okay, in search of a job. He went to Guwahati in quest of a job. Underline the phrase used in this sentence. Sentence number 7. He is a boy of great courage. He is a boy of great courage. Of great courage means he is very, very brave and courageous as a lion, for example. So point out the phrase used in this sentence. He is a boy of great courage. Sentence number 8. Everybody respects a man of character. Everybody respects a man of character. Identify the phrase used in this sentence. Okay, underline it. Sentence number 9. He came in the morning. I repeat, he came in the morning. Okay. Find out the phrase used in this sentence. Sentence number 10. This is a chain of gold. This is a chain of gold. That means the chain is made of a very precious metal, that is gold. Okay. So your task is not to write the meaning of the sentence, but your task is to identify the phrase, point out the phrase used in this sentence. Sentence number 11 is, this is a sari made of silk. Silk, I am sure all of you know, is a material. It's a very, very soft material, and it's very, very expensive. Silk is a very expensive material. So find out the phrase used in this sentence. This is a sari made of silk. The last sentence, sentence number 12 is, he drove the bike at full speed. He drove the bike at full speed. At full speed means at a very high speed, at a very great speed. Okay. He drove the bike, BIKE, at full speed. So this is the last sentence. identify and point out the phrase used in these sentences which I dictated, which I told you. Find out the phrase, and once you are done with, you can forward me a screenshot of the page, okay, of your answers, and then you can also write the score. You check your answers, write the score, and if you have any doubt, if you have difficulty in finding out the phrases that are used in the following sentences, you can just send me a message and the sentence number. I will definitely help you in finding out, or in helping you to find out the phrase that is used in the sentences. So that's all for today. Have a great day. Thank you.